Oh, I'm Bernard Keavy. I was reading Brian Tracy's, I think it was called How to Succeed at Selling, but it's his big program on selling. And I thought there was a really good summary there of some of the better closing techniques. So I thought it'd be worth just spending a few minutes going through what they are and giving due credit to the fact that it comes from Brian Tracy's program. So here's 7 ideas for excellent closes. So the plan is, what you do is you go through, first of all you establish rapport, which is 40% of the sales process. Then you establish what the customer or the client or the prospect actually wants and what they need, which is 30%. Then you present, which is 20%. And then you ask for the business, which is 10%. And before you get to that stage, what you need to do is you need to manage any objections. So basically clear up any areas of confusion or where they're not happy, and you need to do what's called trial close questions. Ask trial close questions. So they are things along the line of, does that make sense to you? Was that what you were expecting to hear? Is there any other concern you've got that I haven't addressed? They're trial closes, basically designed to get happy in your own mind and in the prospect's mind that they've reached the stage where they're now going to make a decision as to whether to buy or not, and they've got sufficient information. And then when you get to that stage, here are some ideas that would work. So the first close is called the invitational close. So what happens there is you just say, why don't you give us a try? And it's a really nice soft way of asking, and it works really well for a service type business. So why don't you give us a try? The second technique is called the directive or the assumptive close, which basically assumes that they've already decided to buy. So it would be something along the lines of, well, that's fine. Well, what happens next is we take your authorization here and then we arrange delivery. So you're assuming that they've agreed. The third one, now these aren't standalones, by the way. Some of them can sort of be a bit of each, if you follow what I'm saying. So this one, the alternative close, that's a really good idea for most people, because most people like to have a choice. So it would be, do you prefer the green or the black, or do you prefer the diesel or the petrol, or do you prefer the X17 or the D19, or do you prefer this payment method or that payment method? But basically you give them a choice, and whichever one they choose, obviously they've decided to buy. The next technique is called the secondary close, and the idea here is that if they agree to a sort of smaller feature, they've agreed to buy the whole thing. So it's a bit like the alternative close, in the sense that you might say, for example, so would you like the door in wood or in plastic? Well, it's an alternative close, but it's also a secondary close, because actually that's not such a good example. Maybe red or black. So if you said, would you like the door to be red or black? They've opted for red or black, which is sort of a smaller bit of buying the whole door, if you like. But once they've agreed on which colour they want, they've obviously agreed to buy the door. So it's called the secondary close. The authorization close, the idea there is that if there's any information to be recorded in writing, what you do is you just say, can I just get you to authorize this? So instead of a signature, it's authorizing. Signature sounds more threatening. So can I just get you to authorize this? And what I've made a note of here is there's a close called the ultimatum close, which is basically where you've been talking to someone for ages, they haven't decided to buy, so you go to see them and you say, look, we've been talking for ages, I don't want to waste your time or my time anymore. Can we just decide that it's either what you want and you're going to go for it, or it's not right for you and you're not going to buy it? And then you don't say anything and you wait for them to make a decision, and you follow it up. Well, what you say is, can we just decide whether you're going to go for this, and can I get you to authorize this form? That's it. And then you wait, and if they sort of break and decide to authorize the form, then they've decided to buy it, and if they don't, then it's over. And it's reckoned that 60% of the time, if you use that sort of close, then 60% of the time they'll actually go ahead. The order sheet close is very similar. You'd be talking to someone and you're filling in the details as you're going, and you say things like, so can I just check the spelling of your name and check your address? And if they don't sort of stop you at that stage, then it means they've agreed to buy. And then this one is the I want to think it over close. And the I want to think it over close is basically, if you don't address this, then the sale's over, because once you leave and they want to think it over, you'll never get the transaction to be as hot again as it was at that stage. So what you do is you say, well, that's fine, I accept that, I understand why you'd want to think this over, it's a really important decision. And that means that the prospect then lets their guard down, they relax. And then you say, just before I go, can I just check, what your major concern is? Is it the money? And you say what your major concern is it the money, without a break. And then two things can happen. They'll either say, yes, it's the money, in which case you can address that. You can say, oh, well, so how far apart are we on this? How much were you expecting it to be? Or they'll say, no, it's not the money, in which case you'll be able to find out what the real objection is, and then you'll be able to manage the real objection. And then you'll be able to try a trial close, and then you'll be able to move into one of these closes again. So that's 7/8 excellent closes that will work in virtually any situation. And I think if you could pick 2 or 3 of those that you like and master them, then you'll improve your sales enormously. So I hope you found that useful. If you wanted to have a look at or to take part in my digital marketing audit, where I'll find you between $10,000 and $50,000, pounds, euros in a 45-minute session, guaranteed as extra revenue, go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and sign up for the process. It doesn't cost you anything. I could do with a testimonial at the end, but basically this is a new process. It's algorithm driven, it's a new software process, and I want to market it, but I need some case studies first to prove it works. So you'd be helping me actually. So www.bernardkeevymentor.com, and it would be great if you were to help me out in that regard. And I hope you found that informative and useful, and thank you very much for watching. To find out how to apply these strategies in your business, go to my Sales Accelerator Roadmap. I'll produce a free assessment of your marketing using an algorithm program and produce a 12-page detailed report. We'll recommend in priority order exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, and how to do it. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and sign up for my free Sales Accelerator Roadmap. You'll see this screen. It'll show you the Sales Accelerator Roadmap, which is free today. It'll show you how to fix your marketing, increase your sales and profits. It'll take less than 45 minutes to do, and our software will pinpoint all your opportunity areas and show you exactly what to do to improve your marketing and grow your business. So go to www.bernardkeevymentor.com and click on the green button, and you'll see that it says there it's a free process, so there's no credit card involved, there's no charge. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that useful, and I'd like to see you at the Sales Accelerator Roadmap. Thank you very much for watching this video.